98.7 FM, Coachella, Lacoste Live. Florence Welch is here from Florence+the Machine. How are you?
Good, thank you.
So I was blown away, and I have to talk to you about this because this must have been such an overwhelming moment in your life, that Grammy tribute.
Yes, that was completely overwhelming. It was so frightening as well, because the Grammys is so big, like just the venue is so massive, and singing in that lineup, and you know, for Aretha and LL Cool J said my name. I mean, it was
and
so intense.
There were a lot of people there, you know, outside of this demographic, were like, oh, she's a lovely redhead. I didn't know Lucille Ball was still performing. And just blown away. And it was a joy to know who you were and be like, oh, you know, that's Florence.
Yeah, I thought it was funny though, because it was like a countdown, so we all had like our goes, and you know, so many amazing voices up there, and it's kind of, okay, my turn's coming, she's singing, oh, I've got to sing, and then the spot, I just thought that I was just glad that any sound came out of my mouth, to be honest.
But this is what I was so impressed by, because the women you were up there with are these divas that are known for these extraordinary voices, and I really thought, and I'm not just saying this because you inhabit a genre that I love, I thought that you surpassed them. And I thought, like, being not as well known as some of those people and singing the way you did, like, you must have channeled something that day.
It was pure fear.
It worked.
I was so scared. And I think it's the most nervous I've ever been, just because, you know, I did feel, you know, slightly like an anomaly, but they were all so nice, and rehearsals were amazing. And Jennifer's little boy was there, and he was doing these amazing Michael Jackson impressions, and he was about this big, and we were all in rehearsals, and what was nice about it was that it was it was a celebration, and it felt, you know, amazing to do something for Aretha.
It's nice to be able to do a tribute and not a memorial.
Yeah, it was really a kind of, it was a wonderful moment, but it was terrifying.
Are there divas like that you've been inspired by from a young age? Like, what are some of the big voices? Because you have this unique, incredible voice and great range, and obviously you can draw from other influences. So who has inspired you?
Growing up, I listened to a lot of Etta James and Nina Simone and Otis Redding.
I love Nina Simone.
Love Nina Simone. And Otis Redding, but then also lots of Kate Bush and Stevie Nicks and Patti Smith, and so it's kind of a big mix in there.
And do you ever do covers? We've
done so many covers, because when you're a band and you start, I had about 3 of my own songs, and I was playing all these open mic nights and pubs and clubs, so it would mainly be to fill the set. We'd do kind of whatever song had been going around in my head that day. We worked out we've got about 75 covers.
Oh my god.
Maybe, yeah. We've got a big back catalogue.
What do you still do covers wise live?
I think You Got the Love, the Candy Stamp cover is probably our biggest.
Cool.
Which was amazing, because that was really on a whim. We decided to cover it because we were playing a dance tent, and you know, that song is a really big 90s rave track.
Yeah.
And it went down so well, but I never thought that I'd play it again, and I kind of recorded it as a B-side randomly, and then it just took on this life of its own, and then the next thing I knew I was performing it, you know, at the Brits. So it's just one of those songs that I'm really grateful for, because it sort of propelled me in a way that I never thought that possible.
And this is a great time for women's voices, and it's a really experimental time, which, you know, I appreciate, because you see someone like Adele, who has so many non-traditional qualities at such a young age, and then you also see someone like Lady Gaga, and people get caught up in her theatrics and don't realize what a great singer-songwriter she is. And how do you see yourself fitting into that experimental, this era, this moment that we're in this feminist time in music?
I think, yeah, I mean, I love Adele and I love Lady Gaga, and I think it is exactly what you say. They both have incredibly individual qualities, and they celebrate them, and they really don't, you know, they stand up for who they are, and they really don't kind of, they're just doing it for the pure love of what they do and who they are. And I think that's something, I think what people are looking for is I think people understand, maybe are more savvy about the music industry and are more savvy about the way things can be put together, and the way that maybe record labels can control an artist, and so they're looking for something genuine, and they want to feel that the artist that they're supporting is doing it from the heart and doing it from a genuine place. I do think it is because people know a bit more about the way things work, so they're sort of drawn to artists that perhaps they feel are doing it for, you know, for themselves.
And I love the way singer-songwriters are celebrated. And, you know, someone like Taylor Swift, who may not have as big of a voice as someone like you or Adele, but, you know, she has just as much credibility because she's sitting there, like, putting in the work, writing the songs, like, feeling the music.
It's putting yourself out there, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think people are, there's something interesting about female performers, is having that mix of real power and incredible vulnerability, because these are women who are completely bearing themselves. You know, it's like putting your diary on an album and then giving it out for all the world to judge. It's you know, it's a kind of an insane thing to do if you think about it.
But that's what we do. Intuitively, that's what we want to do. And, like, we're conditioned not to. Like, it's a weakness.
I think being, and it scares people, because being that emotionally vulnerable and being kind of, you know, there's always that idea of like, oh, she's a woman, she's crazy. But no, it's just kind of being emotionally open. And I think it is like, in artists, that's something that should be really celebrated.
Yes, absolutely. And it's something that is shut down. And that's another thing that I like so much about this time in music. And that's something I always liked about Gwen Stefani. Is like, she would write this stuff, and it was so funny because it was so non-traditional at the time. Like, it was non-traditional because she would write about these really traditional things, like, I want to be your wife, and I want to have your babies, and I want to live on a cul-de-sac. And I just thought that that was fantastic. What is a misconception about you? Do you think that people think you're fragile? Do you think they confuse femininity with fragility?
I don't know. I think I'm not sure I don't think anyone's ever quite pinned down exactly what it, and I think that's a good thing, you know, but I think it's so strange because some people go for the performance side and the kind of the extrovert and the kind of the gregarious side and the kind of the more like attack version of me, and then there's, you know, there can be two sides. There's always two sides to people, and people are complex, and you should never, you know, I think I don't know, I still haven't understand myself so little that I think it would be impossible for
maybe that's
else
why
to.
That works. Maybe that's why that dynamic works so well.
I feel like songwriting and performing is almost a way of trying to take the two sides of yourself, you know, the side that's introverted and trying to work out why you did something, who you are, and then beating it out of yourself through performance and through music, and taking the happy side and the sad side and trying to bring it all together.
Yeah, no, it's the marriage of the process and the expression. That's amazing. So how do you tailor make a set at Coachella versus some of the other indoor venues you play, or, you know, playing with U2?
We did it a lot on the bus last night, actually. We had a little set list meeting, and I'm really excited about it, actually. Because we played in Santa Barbara last night, and so we've tweaked a few things from last night's set, and I'm such a geek. I woke up this morning and I was really like, I was really happy about the set list.
That's awesome.
I was like, oh, I think that's a really good set list.
And I think fans would be happy to know that how much goes into it. And there's that level of satisfaction. Will you keep it for next week, or do you think you'll change it?
If it bombs, we'll probably change it.
It will not. No, people are so excited for tonight.
Yeah, they'll go away thinking, God, yeah, it was good, but that set list was awful.
I wonder if she sounded great.
The set list was so bad.
And then you can load up on gin and juice and go to Snoop and Dre.
Oh, I'm really excited about that, actually.
All right, we'll go have a fantastic...
I had some gin and juice, actually, and it is nice. I'd never had it before, and I had gin and juice. And
why do you think they're singing about it?
It was great. I really enjoyed the
I mean, Sprite and Jägermeister doesn't have the same ring, does it?
Sprite and Jägermeister? What? That sounds amazing.
I smell a new 7-inch.
I see this set list going different direction.
All right, well, Florence, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thanks
I know you're a busy woman, so go out and conquer Coachella.
Get some Sprite and some Jägermeister.
I'm already on it.